Greetings, this is Eat Fat Grow Slim, and I've decided to do a sort of a playlist, a mini series about vitamins. I'm going to do one on the general idea of vitamins, but this is the first one in the main series obviously, and I'm starting with A. So it's probably a little bit more interesting than most people realise, because vitamin A isn't just a vitamin, it's actually a couple of different compounds. It's also fat soluble, which means your body stores it. So it stores it mainly in the liver, but almost like a nutritional savings account. So here's where things start to get a bit interesting. There are two main forms of vitamin A in our diet. First is retinol, found in animal foods, and this is the real active form your body can use immediately. No conversion, no fuss, straight to work. The second is beta-carotene, which most people have heard of, and that's found in plants. Beta-carotene is not actually vitamin A. It's a precursor, sort of hopeful suggestion of vitamin A, if your body decides to convert it. And that's where the story begins. Okay, where's the best source for vitamin A? Well, if you want to get the good gold standard, it's liver. And I mean by a mile. Liver is absolutely packed with vitamin A. Nature didn't hold back there, and I'll tell you what, that's where you will store it, and when you start eating it in excess. And if you have a little bit of liver, you've got more than you need already. You've also got eggs and butter, full fat dairy and oily fish, and all these provide vitamin A in its active, ready to use form. Now, let's talk about the famous alternative, carrots. Yes, the humble carrot, long associated with good eyesight. Here's the twist, carrots don't actually have any vitamin A. They contain beta-carotene, which is what your body uses as a substrate to convert towards retinol, which is real vitamin A. So while your carrots are often presented as the hero, it's more like Robin to retinol's Batman. Now, here's things get interesting. The conversion of beta-carotene into usable vitamin A is not very efficient at all. In fact, many people can only convert about 3 to 10% of it. Yep, you heard that right. So if you're thinking of getting plenty of vitamin A from plants alone, you might not be getting as much as you think. And it gets worse, conversion can be significantly reduced if you are older, you're diabetic, or dealing with other sorts of gut issues. And of course, if you're on a low-fat diet, you won't be able to absorb it very well. You won't be able to store it so well. So it's worth remembering, you don't get vitamin A from plants, you get a chance at vitamin A from plants. Whereas animal foods, they deliver, no questions asked. Second, because it's fat soluble, your body can store vitamin A. Now, this is helpful until it isn't, because unlike water-soluble vitamins, where excess is simply flushed out through the kidneys, vitamin A can build up over time. Now, this could be useful and it might not be. So if an interesting situation, you need it, you store it, and if you're not careful, you can overdo it. And that makes balance absolutely critical. So what does it do? So what is all this vitamin A actually doing? Let's start with the classic claim, vision. Vitamin A is essential for producing a light-sensitive pigment in your eyes that allows you to see in low light. So yes, there's some truth to the old idea that carrots help you with night vision. That's only part of the story though. Vitamin A is also crucial for your immune system, and it helps maintain the integrity of your skin, your lungs, your gut lining. In other words, your body's frontline defences. It also can play a major role in cell growth and repair, healthy skin, reproduction, and even gene expression. This isn't just about eyesight, it's about fundamental human function, and of course you find that most vitamins are absolutely essential in that sense. Now, deficiency is relatively rare in developed countries, but it does happen, and when it does, it can be quite subtle at first. So the earliest sign is often night blindness, so stumbling about where others can see. That moment where you step into a dim light and your eyes don't seem to adjust properly From there you might see other symptoms such as dry eyes, poor skin health, increased infections, and there's the key point. Deficiency is more likely if you avoid animal products entirely. Vegans beware. Eat very low fat diets, or have issues absorbing nutrients for whatever reason. So again, it comes back to bioavailability, not just what you can eat, but what your body can actually use. And now to the part where you have to be just a little bit careful, because vitamin A is one of the few vitamins where too much can be really too much. Now, let's start with the recommended doses. In the UK, it is recommended 700 micrograms per day for men, 600 micrograms per day for women, and there's an upper safe limit as well, which is 3,000 micrograms per day. That's still only 3 milligrams of retinol. So let's put that in perspective. And this is quite surprising because a single serving of liver can contain anywhere from 6,000 to 20,000 micrograms. So that 6,000 is twice your upper safe limit. And that's the lower end of the serving of liver. And that's in one meal. So liver is incredibly nutritious. Luckily, your body will be able to buffer you by saving and storing some of that vitamin A. But it does mean you shouldn't be eating liver every day. And if you're a carnivore, I'm warning you, some carnivores are absolutely obsessed with eating organ meats. Take care. It's not just liver, it's kidneys as well. Now, it's not something you want to eat in large amounts every day, obviously. Now, toxicity can also come from high-dose supplements. As a little aside, I seem to remember in the 1980s, a lot of people were presenting with this vitamin A toxicity because there was this thing about free radicals. And it was believed that these free radicals that are floating about in your blood, and this is actually still true, but it was believed that if you took mega doses of vitamins, you could flush them out and your life would be extended. I'm not sure if anyone's come back in 40 years to say if that's true, but a lot of people were taking like 10, 15 grams of vitamin C, which is perfectly safe because actually they just wee it out. But vitamin A is a different story. The body tries to store it, and of course, more than 3 milligrams, and it starts to get toxic, or potentially anyway. So, if you think you might be having too much vitamin A, there are symptoms, and the symptoms are going to be headache, which unfortunately is a symptom of so many things, nausea, joint pain, and more serious, even liver damage. So here's a reassuring part. If you are a vegetarian or a vegan, the beta carotene does not cause any toxicity. So munch away at those carrots to your heart's content. At worst, you might turn slightly orange. I'm not sure anyone wants to turn orange. I suppose depending on your goals, may or may not be desirable. If you're running for president, let's not go down that route. Anyway, I was just having a little joke at the end. Let's sort of sum up, shall we? Vitamin A is essential, powerful. It's a perfect example of how nutrition is not just about what you eat, but what your body can actually use. If you want reliable vitamin A, think eggs, butter and liver, but don't overdo the liver. And as always, the dose makes the difference between nourishment and trouble. The dose is the poison, the dose is the cure. Take care. Reality check. So if you're relying on carrots alone for your vitamin A, you're not having a side dish. You're running a carrot-based lifestyle because you might need 30 carrots a day. Anyway, probably not. Now, that's it for vitamin A. Can't think of anything else to say. Stay tuned in for vitamin B, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, vitamin B there or B square. That's a really bad joke, isn't it? Anyway, see you for B.